What's up, everybody? Welcome to another fresh take WandaVision episode 7 review. I got with me as well as Vicky, Mrs. T from the Mrs. T Show. How you doing?
Hit up, ooh, special guest. Yeah.
Woohoo!
And Vicky, what is good with you?
I'm out here hustling every day. Every day I'm hustling.
The Rick Ross version of Fangirl Review. Um, so y'all know why we here. It is episode 7 of WandaVision. We're close to the end here. And now, before we get started, I have a small correction to make last week. Last week, I said they skipped the 90s. They did not. Malcolm in the Middle started in 99.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it started in 2000, but it was 99, 2000 was when that first season was. So I was technically wrong.
Still a cop out, though. Still a cop out.
December 99.
I'm just saying it was fall 99, so technically it was the 90s. So
Still copped out. They're still copped out in the 90s, though. That's not fair.
they did.
You
I was
literally have how many 90s shows?
I know.
The star of the show is the younger sisters to a famous twins that were in the 90s that were hello.
Yeah, there were so many that they could have used, and they just I'm like, okay, Malcolm in the Middle worked though. Malcolm in the Middle worked. So this time we're in the mid 2000s, so this is clearly The Office.
Oh yeah,
clearly. At this point, they might as well just put The Office up and just have Steve Carell come out and just wave his hand and leave, because that's clearly what it was. It was The Office. So the sitcom parts are The Office. Now, things are getting a little bit weird on the outside because now Hayward is full-blown Bolivar Trask villain. I don't know what's up with that dude. I really don't know what's up with that dude. But in the last episode, she expanded out the borders. So all of the sword agents that got caught up in it are now circus performers with Darcy.
Yeah.
Which... got to give Kat Dennings props. She has perfect comedic timing.
Oh yeah, she's always had, yeah.
Yeah. Her comedic timing is on point. I like her little back and forth with Vision when she wasn't herself, quote unquote. Because it was just hilarious. It reminded me of Two Broke Girls because it was just hilarious.
I was hoping they would go there, but they didn't.
Well, a lot of people, because I was like, why didn't they just have her be like a concession person?
Yeah.
And have her in the Two Broke Girls outfit.
But have her in a little yellow getup. Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess they didn't want to. I guess they didn't want to step on too many legal toes if they would have did that.
Intellectual properties.
Yeah.
It was really clever though what they did. So.
Yeah, it worked. It really did work. And Vision has to unfreeze her, quote unquote, and she gives him the background that Wanda wouldn't. Which I can understand why Wanda wouldn't, because it was kind of traumatic what happened to him, and she had to watch it twice. So there's that. Now, back in the sitcom world, everything's going haywire. And it's affecting pretty much everything because she just I don't care anymore. Which is really bad when you're the person supposed to be holding up this whole fake TV paradise world you set up.
Right.
Supposedly. I'm air quoting here supposedly because we all know that while she is powerful, she ain't that powerful to pull this off.
Right.
So Agnes comes over. Oh, God. Agnes comes over and she gets the boys because clearly, and this anybody who would have seen that, they would have did the same thing, because if you saw how Wanda was acting, she was 2 seconds away from killing somebody the way she was acting by accident.
Yeah.
Just because she was just I don't care. I don't know why stuff's breaking down. I really don't care. I just don't care anymore. And that was okay, yeah. She came and got the boys she just needs some me time. Bam. Back there on the outside, Monica and Jimmy finally meet up with I forgot the other captain. It was not Reed Richards, so I was kind of disappointed in that.
Mm-hmm.
So they basically give her a space rover to ram her way back into the Hex. Clearly, that wasn't going to work.
I don't know why they thought that would work.
Well, I'm guessing they thought that because the other episode when they put the drone in, they needed stuff that was from that era, the 80s, on the inside of the drone. That's why I didn't rewrite it. So I guess their thinking was, okay, we found out what decade she's in now, and we put stuff from that decade on it, and it should go straight through. The problem was when she reinforced it, and the other person reinforced it. We're getting to that, people. That's what made it denser, so that couldn't happen.
It was like all that setup and no payoff.
Yeah,
but it was a payoff.
I mean, it was a payoff. It was like, oh, they set it up. You had everybody think it was going to be Reed. It wasn't Reed, and it was just this truck, and it just like didn't even work.
But like, how you gonna drive this big old truck thing, right? And then you gonna go at a good speed and hit this barrier. If it was me, I'm crawling. So if I hit it, I'm like, okay, this ain't working. Let me give it a little more gas. Now I'm gonna go at a good steady 45 miles per hour and then hit the wall. What? Ooh.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, this is one of those times we kind of needed Vin Diesel to show up and put some Nas on it. Holler about this is all about family, and then just
American Hustle.
Yeah, or something. I mean, this is one of those times. But the payoff was we get to see Monica finally get her powers after a pretty interesting sequence. I had to go back and rewatch it a couple times because there are a lot of lines being thrown out when she's going through the barrier. There's a line from Nick Fury. There's 2 lines from Captain Marvel. There's a line from, I think, episode 4 from Jimmy. And there's another line, and I can't tell where that's from. But it's like, you have to watch it a couple times, that sequence a couple times, because you're not going to get all of it, because they kind of like layer it on top of each other. But it was actually cool. And then she gets her powers, which I was happy for, finally.
Yeah, very cool.
And she breaks all the way through. Now I just need her to get a trench coat.
Right?
Yeah. I just need her to get the trench coat, and we got Spectrum, Photon, whoever you want to call it.
Yeah, but why do our black superheroes gotta have trench coats?
Because we the coolest ones.
She got shades too. Like, come on.
Well, actually, in the comics, it's an ongoing joke as to why she's wearing the trench coat. It's kind of like her fashion thing. It's an ongoing joke because Luke is like, "Why are you wearing a trench coat in the middle of August?" And because in the comics she hangs with Luke and all them in Harlem when she's on Earth, and she's walking around in the summertime with a full-on trench coat on. It's kind of like a running gag.
She should snap back and be like, "Why are you always wearing a yellow shirt?"
Yeah. Which is actually funny because they do have like a good little back and forth. I like how she goes to try and help. She continually tries to help Wanda, who's clearly in the middle of a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
I do kind of like that. Although I did think they were going to actually fight.
I did too.
I thought they were going to actually fight because Wanda was clearly not having it, but she had underestimated the fact that Monica got superpowers now.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gonna be throwing her around no more. It ain't gonna go that easy.
She saw. Maybe she didn't want to fight. She was like, "Oh wait." She got a little strength on her.
And I gotta give it to Teyana Parris. She has a very good superhero landing.
Oh, that was a great landing. Yeah.
Yeah, she had. Deadpool will be proud. You know good and well Ryan Reynolds is looking at this and is going to put this in Deadpool 3. You know he's watching this and like, yep, notes. Yep, taking notes.
Jokes ready, you know.
He's getting his jokes ready. So, but yeah, their standoff was actually pretty good and very kind of endearing because Wanda's listening to her,
mm-hmm.
which is one of the things that I'm like, okay, yeah, you need somebody to listen. She's starting to listen because I've said this a couple weeks ago. The reason why she's going crazy is, one, the only person who could really talk to her and get through to her was Cap. And Cap, for all points and purposes, Steve Rogers dead in the MCU now. He's pretty much dead. Hawkeye ain't nowhere to be seen, and Hawkeye really ain't no good talker like that.
He
No,
wouldn't
because
have
he
been
went
good
off
there
the
anyway.
deep end when he lost his family. So,
Yeah, so
he ain't the best.
He's not the best person to
He
talk
would have
to.
been in there anyway. So
Yeah, but the thing is, like the one person who could talk to her and get her to calm herself and she feel comfortable around is Steve, and he's dead.
mhm.
So you don't have anybody that's doing that, and she doesn't trust anybody, and she hasn't had a chance to grieve because this pretty much takes place like I think they said a month after Endgame
Yeah,
is when this takes place. I'm like, okay, she's literally had no time to grieve,
yeah,
literally.
that's true.
So, Agnes gets her and takes her to her house, and then comes probably one of the best reveals of all time, as Agnes is Agatha Harkness, the famous witch from the Marvel Universe. Now, but hey, now they did the best like ending song, and I will be using that line for everything from now on. It was Agatha all along. I'm using that from now on.
That was great. I was like, this is too good. This is too good right here.
Because like they went back, showed every scene, but they pulled the camera back, and you see her doing something like,
Yeah,
ain't this
very clever. This is some clever TV. I'm loving it.
yeah, because I didn't expect them to do that, but I do have to say, just because I know a little bit about Agatha Harkness, in the comics, she's not a full-on villain. She's one of those opportunistic characters.
Right.
So I don't think she's the villain because once again, I like both of them. They are powerful. They are not powerful enough to pull this off. The only person I know that's powerful enough in the MCU to pull this off without any power boost or anything is Franklin Richards, and he ain't there yet.
Uh-huh.
So clearly somebody else is there.
Well, we're not going to talk about that. Are we?
Well, I got a theory on who it is. It's
Well, I do
one of
too,
two
but,
people. It's one of two people,
Yeah.
and I think one of them was masquerading as Quicksilver, and that wasn't. And I don't think Agnes is controlling that Quicksilver. I think she brought him over, but she ain't controlling him.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads into my theory of who this is, who the actual villain is.
You just think a little bit and you look at the twins. It's all about the twins, so we know.
Yeah.
We know what's up.
Yeah, I mean, and plus the fly on the wall.
Literally fly on the wall.
Literally fly on the wall. But I will say this: I do like the imagery when they actually changed to the reveal of Agnes being Agatha. I thought that was actually pretty cool when they go down into the basement.
Oh, that was great.
That was great. And who the hell is Ralph? We have not seen Ralph, her husband.
I think we have. I got a theory. I think we have seen him.
Okay, we got to do this theory time. So, all right. So who you thinking about? Who you thinking?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I can't remember specifically. I do remember a character having to do with her, but my thinking is she turned him into that rabbit. That what's his name, Mr. What is his name?
Oh, yeah.
She's always petting that rabbit, and in the comics, she used to pet this cat, and I think that cat used to be somebody she knew or something. I haven't read these comics in a long time.
Yeah. And this is from like the 80s and 90s with stuff with Agatha in it, because the portrayal. This is not the retcon that they did like in like 2000 where they made her younger. This is like the older.
Yeah, this is basically 80s, 90s comics. So
yeah,
I'm trying to remember. I can't remember specifically, but she used to have this cat in the comics, and I believe from my limited memory that it used to be somebody she knew, and she just turned him into that animal, and she's torturing him in some way like that. I can't remember specifically.
Which would make sense because like all those commercials that they've been showing, now they're starting to make a whole lot more sense.
Yeah.
With the reveal.
All those commercials are so perfect, aren't they?
Yeah. So, Vicky, I gotta ask you about like two of the commercials: the Yo Magic commercial from last week and the Nexus commercial from this week. Was that appropriately dark or way too dark?
Oh, with the
kid, the claymation one, with the kid on the thing, with the shark talking to him from last week.
Listen. I'm just looking forward to see what they do next with the commercials. Like, are we still going to get commercials next week? Now that, like, how...
I kind of do want one more commercial.
What is next week going to be? So, you know, is it now a reality show? Full-on reality show now.
At this point, I think they have to be because there's only 2 more episodes left. So,
but they're going to be very long episodes.
Yeah,
because they said the story is 6 hours, and right now we're at barely 4. If you add up all the episodes, so we got a couple hours left. So they're going to be a little bit longer episodes, I think, these last 2.
Which makes a whole lot of sense. But I do think we probably would get at least one more, and then like the last episode is just full on MCU.
Yeah,
I think the last episode is going to be full on MCU. I will say this though, I did like the fact that Vision stopped doing the confessionals.
Yeah, he became self-aware. He was like, "What am I doing?"
That in and of itself made me think like, okay, finally somebody is starting to realize like, dude, you don't have to do this. You already know, so get out of here. Like, you can fly. Why are you even? And that's the other thing. Why are they stopping at a stoplight? You know you're in a. I wouldn't even stop. I would have kept going.
Exactly. I'm like, if you don't see any cars coming, you're in the middle of a crisis. Stuff is happening. Look both ways and keep going. I don't know what the problem is. And there's like open field for days, so you don't even have to look both ways because there ain't nothing around.
Yeah. So apparently she really did expand it out so far that they have to drive all the way back in. So if they had to drive all the way back in, and yes, I don't think it was Wanda doing it. I think it was Agatha trying to stop him from getting back home. But at the same time, like, why did you stop to begin with?
Right.
Both of you know you're in an anomaly.
But
you know it's not real.
Here's my other question, right? You in this big van. Why didn't you just drive on the grass? Maybe because I'm country and I'm back in the woods and like we just park on lawns and drive on grass like that. Like if it ain't muddy and you're not going to get dug in, why? I've just been driving on the grass, go right around the construction. Okay, you all right? Bye. Do. Like bump onto the grass, and I keep it going. Like
that is true.
Now I will say it was funny that every time something happened, something else would happen, like a cartoon. So like once the people that were fixing the lights left, there was a school with a bunch of kids. Like what the? that was funny. But yeah, I like the fact that he became aware and he stopped doing the confessional and left. I'm like, yeah, dude, leave. You don't have to do the confessional. Why are you doing the confessional? You know what's up. Why are you doing the confessional? So I'm guessing. I am gonna guess that next week is gonna be full on reality show. Probably get one more commercial, and I think the last episode is gonna be the full on MCU. Whoever. Because Paul Bettany did kind of let it slip. There's one more reveal coming. One more big reveal coming. So whoever's coming is going to come in episode 9. Probably going to be Doctor Strange. It's probably going to be Doctor Strange.
Probably.
I'm thinking it's going to be Doctor Strange.
Because it's supposed to lead into the multiverse of madness, so.
Yeah. And the whole thing with the Nexus is, just for people that don't read the comics, the whole thing for the Nexus is, Wanda is one of those special people in the Marvel Comics universe. She can actually tear open reality to go to the multiverse on her own.
Yeah.
So that was the whole purpose of the Nexus commercial. If you don't know, because she is a Nexus person. But once again, she's powerful. She's not powerful enough to do what she's doing.
No.
Like the only person I know,
she's getting her signal boosted right now.
The only person I know, the only comic character I know that's that powerful is Franklin Richards. He's powerful enough to create a whole Earth by himself, which he's done before. So she's strong. She's not that strong, and neither is Agatha. They're both powerful. They're just not that powerful to keep that going for that long. That's why I think it's either the real villain is either Mephisto or Nightmare.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Mephisto.
Yeah, I'm leaning toward Mephisto just because those people are being tortured and they can't do anything about it.
That's
Yeah.
That's got him written all over it.
Yeah, and plus it
And
makes
the twin.
sense. Yeah, and plus it makes sense that she doesn't remember how she did all this.
Yeah, right.
You make a deal.
You know how maybe you guys talked about this last week. Maybe was it last week? Maybe a week before. About Quicksilver. How he was laying on the couch, and they were talking about how they were. The one was talking about how he was scared of him or something. And he referred to them as demon spawn.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. To me, that's like, right, okay, that's Mephisto right there. Like that's.
And the fact that in the comic, during House of M, they were literal demon spawn because
they were literal demon spawn. It could just be a callback, but I think it is.
Yeah, I think it's something serious because it was the way he was talking was basically trying to figure out. Look, okay, I gave you the signal boost, but you weren't supposed to be able to do all this. So how'd you do it?
Yeah.
Girl, I ain't playing with you. Tell me how you did this.
Yeah.
So yeah. Now, Vicky, what do you think about the post credit scene?
It was only the one short one, right?
Yeah, the one with Monica meeting fake Quicksilver.
Fake evil Quicksilver.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
The setup is there for because that's another reason why I think he's the main bad and he's not, because the setup is there, and I think the problem is Monica is the wild card because he could probably handle Agnes and Wanda. He don't know what to do with her. He's not gonna know what to do with her.
Yeah, because she wasn't supposed to be half hours. She wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
He's throwing problems into their plan.
Yeah, which at this point I'm trying to figure out like what. Well, knowing Mephisto from the comics, he's worse than Loki.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's Loki-like, but he's a little worse.
Yeah, like Loki does stuff and it's funny. He does stuff and it's like, okay, dude, you are actually killing people.
Yeah, he likes he indulges in it, like torture and all that kind of stuff. So
like Loki does stuff and you can kind of laugh at it because it's kind of funny,
right?
And you like, dude, what did you expect? It's him. Mephisto does it and he's like, okay, y'all need to kill him.
Right.
He's not the real devil. Kill him. He can be killed. Kill him. So yeah.
So you said something about Hayward earlier. I thought it was so funny. And just the show in general, because we've come a long way from that,
first
Black
two
episode where they're trying to feed the boss and his wife.
Yeah.
We're so far removed from that right now, and it didn't seem like it was that long ago. But you talked about Hayward, and I was like, man, he turned quicker than Darth Vader in Episode 3.
I mean, yeah. Well, the thing is, that's why I made the Bolivar Trask comparison, because we know that they're bringing in X-Men, and one of the things I was saying, the only way I see them doing this and making it make sense is when they do Sentinels, is they make it based off of Iron Man, stuff, because especially since Tony's dead, Tony can't stop him.
Yeah.
So this kind of parallels that because, and I always wonder, why did Shuri let them take Vision out of Wakanda when she could have fixed him?
Yeah.
But apparently they took Vision out of Wakanda, took him to the sword thing, and he's trying to bring him online. And that's the only reason why I want Shuri in this, just so she could go off on him.
Yeah,
I think that would be hilarious.
I want to know why he was removed. And
yeah, because like I said, Shuri said, like, I could fix this. Like, it's just gonna take me a little bit, but I can fix it.
Yeah,
y'all did this wrong. She was like, y'all did this wrong.
Yeah, because I mean, when it all breaks down to it, he is just a computer. I mean, obviously he's so much more, but he is a computer. He is a program.
And Vision in the comic didn't need the Mind Stone, so
yeah, he didn't. So the thing, that's why I was like, oh, they're gonna have to explain that at some point, like how, because. Who okayed that? Did they steal his body out of Wakanda?
Well,
Yeah, so I mean,
they good for that.
It's the new outreach program.
Yeah, new outreach program. Yeah, so yeah, I am completely invested. I was telling people before, I'm like, I understand you didn't like the first 2 episodes. Trust me, I know where this is going. This is gonna get good.
I loved them as a classic television fan. I still love them.
Yeah, like Go ahead,
real
Vicky.
quick. I was talking to my brother about this. At this point in time, I think you should have my older brother on the show because he's like, "Well, what did you think?" He was like, "First of all, I watched your episode with Jay, so here are my thoughts." And he's like, and then my little brother's just on the chain thread, and he's just there. So we just spoil things. I'm like, yeah, listen, bro, I'm logged in on your Disney, so I don't know why you ain't watching. But I brought up Monica is kind of playing the role of the magical Negro, and it's kind of annoying me. As she's gone through these different episodes,
she really is
giving Zen advice to everybody, Wanda and the people on the outside, and then trying to, like, you know what? Monica, just walk away from them. You know what? Y'all want to go ahead, because you know we don't have time. I told you, Hayward, I told you, but you ain't want to listen. I told you, Wanda, you want to be throwing people up in the air and through stuff. You know what? Go ahead. Y'all just go ahead and kill each other. I don't care. Goodbye. Everybody dies. I'm going over here.
Yeah, like, y'all don't need me. Y'all just took on Thanos anyway, so you know what I'm saying? This is going to work itself out without me being in Magic Negro up in here. So.
Exactly. You know y'all don't want my little raggedy advice, so go ahead.
Now that I think about it, that is right. They do, especially these last two episodes. It really has been mystical, magical Negro.
Yes, I'm like, here we go. I'm just in here, you know, my arms crossed, watching like, here we go.
And I guess
trying to save the white woman. Here we go. Go ahead, Monica. Save the white girl. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Well, and that's your own detriment. Now you got your body has changed and everything like that. Mm-hmm. Look at you.
Nobody else wants to hear anything about, you know, giving Scarlet Witch any kind of love, any kind of pass. It's like, oh, she's the villain, you know, but no, Monica wants to save her. She wants to.
No. Go ahead. Blow up everything.
You know what?
I can see the good.
That's the thing. I did not think about that because I was so focused on her getting her power set that I was just like, I was completely overlooked. You are absolutely right. They do got her playing the mystical magical Negro.
As a black woman, you do not need to save everybody, girl.
No.
Go ahead. You gotta mourn your mother and live your life. You know?
Now I actually want to see them fight. Like, nah, Monica, whoop her ass. She want to fight.
Now she went to fake Quicksilver. She gonna have to fight out of that. She gonna come in, help Wanda and save the day with whoever else comes. Well, you know, Doctor Strange gonna come, so a white man gonna come save everybody.
This show has been so clever. I'm glad you brought it up because this show has been so clever. I thought there's no way they were gonna let that happen. I thought it was gonna be maybe there'd be a tongue-in-cheek thing where she shows up dressed as Bagger Vance.
Yeah. That would have been funny if they would have did that. If they would have did that, that would have been funny.
Oh, that would have been great. She came to the other side as Bagger Vance.
They're like, you know what? This is the trope, so here it is. Let's play it up. Then okay.
I would have started clapping. I would have gave them a standing ovation. That is great.
Actually, they've been doing that. They've put the trope in, and then you see it.
Yeah.
They've been doing that.
I would have stood up and bowed.
Yeah.
Good job, Disney.
Well, don't worry. Ryan Reynolds gonna put it in Deadpool 3. Because Disney are messed up now. They didn't let that man get money.
Oh man.
Oh, he gonna go at y'all hard. But yeah, we're running up on 30 minutes. We got 2 more episodes. They're supposed to be both around about an hour. I think next week's supposed to be like 45 or 50 minutes, and the last episode is supposed to be an hour. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to it because now I'm intrigued as to how they're gonna pull this off and who is actually really running, pulling the strings behind this, because we know the Infinity Stones are not in play. So they're not in play. We don't have to worry about that. So who's doing what, and we're gonna find out, and hopefully they wrap this up pretty evenly. Because like I said, until you said something, I did not think about that. And I hate that trope. I really hate that trope. I really hate that trope. So yeah. Final thoughts overall?
It just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, it continues to grow and gets better. So, I mean, you know, it ain't that hard when they had like that horrible beginning. So you could only go up from there. So, you know, they continue to make it better. So I almost want them, like, when it's all said and done, to like sit down and do some heavy editing to get that first episode down to about 5 minutes going into the third episode. Those first two going down to 5 minutes going into the third episode. And like, you know what, this is how we should have did it. Here, we're going to cut all this.
I mean,
the actor's already been paid, so like, keep it moving.
I love you, Vicky, but I completely disagree. I love
All right, 10 minutes. Can we cut those 2 episodes down to 10 minutes?
It's such a curveball. I love the fact that it's like, what is this show? You don't get that anymore. You don't get them you don't get shows taking chances like that. Like, what is
that was a big chance. Cause
like, I admired that. I admired the fact that they did that. I also admired the fact that somebody is a Nintendo fan, because during that Malcolm in the Middle stuff, I saw a Wii remote, I saw a GameCube controller, that's all I saw. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I was waiting for the N64 and the.
I know, right? But it was 2000, so it made sense. It was just a GameCube and Wii remote. So I was like, all right, I got you.
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious too. I thought that was pretty much hilarious. I'm loving this overall. Like, I kind of agree with both of you about the first episode. I said the first 2 episodes, they should have just put them together and made it an hour. That's what I said.
They should have done that. I'll give you that. Yeah.
They should have just made it an hour, because that just the third episode was where stuff started to get more interesting. The first 2 episodes just like, unless you like a fan of the sitcom stuff, but if you were an MCU fan and you was waiting, okay, where my heroes at? You were kind of upset. But that's why I think the show we're getting after this, Falcon and Winter Soldier, that's for the MCU.
Oh, that's fandom. Total MCU fandom.
Yeah, that's total MCU fandom.
Oh yeah.
But this was a little bit different, and I that's the only thing I would change. I would make them first 2 episodes just 1 episode, and go from there. But yeah, this keeps getting better and better, and I can't wait to see how they wrap things up. Honestly, especially with the revelations coming to light, and with the best villain outro ever. I can't believe she killed the doggone dog.
Good. That was so good.
I can't believe she killed the dog.
That was the best song ever. Oh my God. I was like, what? And it was like a good, like, what, 30, 45 seconds? Like,
yeah.
I was laughing.
I mean, they need to start the next episode off with that. That's how they need to start the next episode. Like, jeez, lady. I'm like, and Catherine Hahn deserves mega props. I've been saying that all the whole series so far. She's been playing that role to perfection. So I gotta give her, because she's been creepily weird and funny at the same time.
Yeah. But hey, bro, Miss Olsen, she is killing it. Like, I'm talking like Golden Globe status she needs. Because I think people are taking for granted how many different characters she's playing, even though she's playing herself.
Yeah.
Like, all these different eras, and she's fitting perfectly in, like with these TV shows from those different eras. Mm-hmm. I'm talking, this is like real. I didn't know she was this good of an actress. I
knew she was good, but I'm like you. I didn't know she was this good.
That's true.
I knew
you
she
are
was
getting
good.
like a full like depth that she's going through.
Yeah, she's got some layers going on here. I'm like, wow.
She's pulling all this off and doing the House of M craziness on top of it.
Seriously.
I'm like, so clearly she read House of M.
Yeah,
clearly
had to.
And clearly she's a fan of sitcoms, because she nailed Mary Tyler Moore. She nailed Samantha from Bewitched. I was waiting for an I Dream of Jeannie reference. I'm like, okay, yo, really? Yeah.
It's not easy to do what she's doing. Like, you could easily ham this up and mess it up. And she's walking that line. I'm impressed.
We know that the Emmys and Golden Globes are full of crap, so I'm just gonna go and give her flowers now. Yeah, girl, you killing it.
Yeah, give her flowers.
Give her flowers now, girl. You killing
superhero stuff. You don't want to acknowledge our superhero stuff. So
yeah, like if it took them forever to acknowledge Andy Serkis and all that CG he was doing.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, girl, keep doing what you do, because I am enjoying this, and you are perfect as Wanda. So that does it for this episode. Catch us next week. And because we're gonna do all this Marvel stuff, so yeah, just be along for the ride. So we will see you guys next week. Peace out.
Bye.